Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
I think whenever these things happen, our awareness level goes up. But, you know, based on what the person said, do they have access to things that can cause people harm? And that's what the investigation focused some of its time on.
Schools nationwide are a bit on edge, days after 17 people lost their lives in a school shooting in Florida. Today, a parent from Crookston posted her concerns on social media after hearing a student had threatened the school there. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz tells what staff members are doing to keep kids safe.
Crookston School Superintendent Chris Bates says the 4-day weekend following the recent shooting in Parkland, Florida, did not help his students to cope with the situation.
Kids really need access to adults that they can talk to and can trust.
Bates says sometime over the weekend, social media exploded over a concern that people couldn't quite verify.
That ninth grader said that if someone was to bully her one more time, she might shoot up the school.
7th grader Evan Smith says he doesn't know the person who supposedly made this threat and, according to the Post, was expelled. But he heard she's a 9th grader and knew a first name. He's also not 100% sure the ones he heard it from know her.
Who do you know that actually knows her? Anybody?
My cousin, probably.
Your cousin might know her.
Yeah.
So you've kind of just heard along the grapevine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Chris Bates says there was not an expulsion. That would take the school board. But someone was suspended.
But that's it as far as repercussions since the shooting has been one suspension, or?
Pretty much, yes.
When you say pretty much?
You know, I can't go into more details because of privacy laws. But, you know, as they keep saying, if we could explain fully what we've done, I truly believe people would see what we've done is highly appropriate.
Though Bates says the suspension has nothing to do with a bullying incident, a student made, as he put it, an inappropriate comment on social media that he couldn't go into more detail about. But he says he's confident with the school's measures.
They did an extensive investigation, the principal and the school resource officer, and they found that there was no credible reason that we would be concerned about the safety of our staff and students.
And Evan Smith says the threat worried him, but...
Were you afraid to go to school today?
Not really, because I'm pretty sure the school handled it.
In Crookston, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live.
Public safety officials tell us another threat at the University of North Dakota was investigated. A threatening Instagram handle turned out to be someone not near or affiliated with the school, and that person apparently was trying to gain followers. We now have an update on a deadly shootout that happened yesterday northwest of Jamestown. 2 deputies are now on administrative leave, and the Bureau of Criminal Investigation is helping with that investigation. Stutsman County authorities say it took place around noon yesterday after a man led officers on a high-speed chase north of Medina and into the Woodworth area. During the pursuit, he says the man fired at deputies before getting out of his car. Once he did get out, he continued shooting. The deputies returned fire and killed the man. The man's name has not been released yet. Nice to see our temps bumping up today, but we're also seeing snow moving into parts of the area. Hutch, how much and how will it impact our evening?
Well, for our evening, we'll start to see snow moving in from the south. It will hit our southern counties first and then slowly work its way northward. If you're in Grand Forks or Devil's Lake, though, no snow in the forecast for you. Here's the latest on the radar. It's moving through Sioux Falls and right up the I-29 corridor, nudging up against our South Dakota counties as it pushes to the north and east. Now, if you're traveling to the Twin Cities, there's quite a good band in the Wilmer area heading towards St. Cloud. So the I-94 corridor will get a little flaky tonight. But Sisseton to the Richland County area will be the first in our area to see some snowfall. Winter weather advisory for tonight and into the early hours tomorrow for 1 to 3 inches in the highlighted counties as a rule. Isolated locations could pick up 2 to 5. In Fargo tonight, look how steady those temperatures are. Light and variable winds. If we have a chance of snow, I think it's going to be much later for us after 10 o'clock here in the FM area. But we'll keep you posted on that. A little bit of shovel trouble for us, but I think we'll be on the lower side of this system, probably closer to 1 to 2 inches in the FM area.
Okay, good to know.
You bet.
Thanks, Hutch. Police have arrested a high school student after threats on social media prompted a lockdown at a suburban Minneapolis school district. Orono schools went into lockdown today after posts on Twitter and Facebook indicated there would be a shooting at noon. Police determined the posts were coming from inside the school and arrested a boy on suspicion of making terroristic threats. Public health experts found more than half of gun owners in the U.S. do not properly store their weapons in the home. Experts say it's the first step owners can take in preventing a gun tragedy from occurring. CBS's Kenneth Craig spoke with a responsible owner in Rhinebeck, New York.
Retired police officer John Imperato keeps his weapons and ammunition under lock and key.
I like to keep the weapons in one safe, the ammo in another safe, and actually all other equipment, magazines, in a third safe.
A national survey out of Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health finds Imperato is actually in the minority.
54% of gun owners do not store all their guns locked away in a secure manner.
The survey defines safe storage as a locked gun safe, cabinet, or case. The study's co-author, Daniel Webster, says self-defense is one reason why many owners don't follow safe storage protocol.
They want to be able to easily access a loaded gun that they could fire rather quickly.
But research shows gun ownership actually elevates the risk for homicide in the home and increases the suicide risk.
In the current context, we're also concerned about teenagers taking guns from their home and carrying out acts of violence.
Experts and owners agree safe storage helps prevent tragedy and theft.
I used to be a firearms instructor, so safety was the first thing.
Researchers found taking a gun safety course also led to greater use of safe storage practices at home. Kenneth Craig, CBS News, Rhinebeck, New York.
The study found gun owners were 44% more likely to practice safe storage if they have a child under 18 in the home. Nationwide, students are planning walkouts over the next 2 months to advocate for tougher gun control and to protest gun violence in response to the Florida school shooting that killed 17 last week. The superintendents in the Bismarck-Mandan area say they will not dismiss classes for any walkouts or demonstrations in support of the Florida school shooting victims and gun control. However, the school superintendents at both schools say they will not prohibit students from participating in them. In Bismarck, students will face repercussions if they don't obtain parental permission to leave school. So far, there's no word on whether students locally are planning to walk out. A Minneapolis man is facing felony charges accused of beating and raping his disabled teenage daughters. Investigators say that between 2012 and 2017, 51-year-old Jerry Curry beat both daughters to the point of scarring, leaving one with permanent vision damage. The complaint also says he fathered a child with one of them. Both victims have developmental disabilities and at the time of the alleged abuse were in their teens. Curry faces 9 charges, including abuse and assault. The alleged abuse was discovered when one of the daughters ran away to a shelter and reported it. A school district in Ohio is arming its teachers in hopes of keeping students safe. That's still ahead tonight.